And welcome everybody. This is Karen Grace Clark. I'm the program manager for Gold Perinatal Care Online Conference. I'm here with Dr. Sarah Buckley. She is our keynote presenter at our live online conference on November 12th of 2013. I encourage you to head over to our website at www.goldperinatal.com. That's GOLDPERINATAL.com. Our keynote presentation is free and open to the general public. If you'd like to hear Sarah speak, I encourage you to reserve a seat at our website. A former GP family physician, Sarah Buckley is a mother of 4 children who were all born at home, and she is the author of the international best-selling book, Gentle Birth, Gentle Mothering. Her work critiques current practices in pregnancy, birth, and parenting from the widest possible perspectives, including scientific, evolutionary, psychological, and personal. Sarah has a particular interest in the hormonal psychology of pregnancy, labor, and birth, and has written and lectured extensively on the subject. Her in-depth report, The Hormonal Physiology of Childbearing, which she has been working on since 2007 with Childbirth Connection in the USA, is due for release in late 2013. Sarah encourages all of us to be well-informed, to listen to our hearts and instincts, and to take our rightful place as the real experts in our bodies, our babies, and our families. Please see sarahbuckley.com or gentle-naturalbirth.com for more information about Sarah. Now I'd like to ask Sarah a few questions about her upcoming presentation at Gold Perinatal Care. Sarah, can you tell me how you came into this type of work?
Thanks, Karen Grace. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, I was always interested in pregnancy and birth, even before I had children myself. You could say it runs in my family. My father was an obstetrician, and my grandfather actually was a GP involved in the care of mothers and babies as well. But it was really the experiences of giving birth to my own children that propelled me in this direction, you could say. As you said, all of my babies were born at home, and they were extraordinary and I would say ecstatic experiences, and quite different experiences to what I'd learned about at medical school. And I wondered, how did this happen, that my body changed so much, that my brain changed so much, that I was transformed through each experience of giving birth. And I was also inspired by the work of people like Michelle O'Donnell. So I went back to the books, to the science, to see what happens for all mammals during the processes of labour and birth, and that really developed my interest in the hormonal physiology.
Thank you for sharing from your personal experience, Sarah. I think that's really fascinating. I love to hear about that transformation. And can you tell me, why do you think healthcare professionals need to know this information?
I think that healthcare professionals have a huge opportunity to create positive outcomes for mothers and babies at the time of birth. It's really a pivotal time in the woman's physiology, as I write about, but it's also a pivotal time in creating family and in entering motherhood. And the way that we treat women at that time has enormous repercussions into the future. It can affect how the mother cares for her baby. It can affect the whole family in actual case. It can affect how she views her birth, how she views her body. So the opportunities to create positive outcomes at birth are magnified. So, I really acknowledge and really encourage healthcare professionals to take that opportunity to treat labouring women well, and to encourage and support them with physiologic birth, and to promote physiologic practices like skin-to-skin contact after birth, like breastfeeding, which again have these enormous positive implications for mothers and babies lifelong.
Excellent. Very, very true. Very good points. Thank you. And just another quick question for you, Sarah. What do we know about the impact of birth on lifelong well-being?
Well, that's a really good question, and that's the focus of my lecture for Gold Perinatal, because the answer to that is we really don't know a lot. We've had a time of looking at the impact of gestation on lifelong well-being, called the developmental origins of health and disease theory, and we know now that what happens to the baby in the womb can affect the baby's health and well-being lifelong, but we haven't shone our lens yet on the processes of labour and birth. I mean, it's a relatively short time, but in fact, in terms of physiology, it's an extraordinary time. It's the opportunity that Mother Nature takes to create relationship between mother and baby, to optimise not just survival and well-being at birth, but actually survival and well-being lifelong. And it sets, you could say, it sets us on a trajectory for health and well-being into the future. So what we know is quite limited, and that's what I'll be sharing. A lot of physiologic principles, some animal research as well that tells us that the impact of birth on lifelong well-being is actually very significant. And I'm excited about this area of research because there's a lot that we're realizing we don't know, and a lot that we are beginning to learn in this area.
Excellent points. Hearing you say that what we don't know is more than what we do know is really quite profound. And I certainly hope the listeners to this interview that their interest is piqued and that they do want to hear more about this. And we do encourage everybody to head over to goldperinatal.com, sign up for Sarah's presentation, The Impact of Birth on Lifelong Well-Being. It is free and open to the general public on November 12th. And as a matter of fact, if you're not available to listen live on November 12th, you do have a week after that to listen to the recording right at our website. And we also hope that you will register for goldperinatalcare.com and hear some of the other excellent speakers that we have. Thank you, Sarah, for being with us today. I really appreciate your time.